What is up, guys? Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny. We are back with another best farm this week video, and this week we're going to deep dive in the best place to get your deep sight resonance weapons and how you can farm the raid exotic. That's alongside a must-have weapon in the Crucible, so be sure to stick around and enjoy the video. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a comment and rating down below, and remember to subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. But without further delay, guys, let's jump into the video. Now, another week and another best farm this week video. These are perfect in the run up to Lightfall that launches at the end of February, making sure that you're focusing your time on the areas that you need to and getting all the gear you need to jump into this brand new DLC. Now, this week saw the launch of a brand new patch, which has sadly brought the game offline. As of the making of this video, Destiny 2 is still offline and we're currently waiting for a further update. But as soon as we have an update, I'll be sure to add it to the pinned comment down in the comments below. Now, thanks to the in-game notification, we could see that we had the Deep Stone Crypt raid as the featured raid for the current week. Now, that was alongside an update in This Week at Bungie, where on the 18th of January, a change went live in-game, making it easier for players to earn red border weapons. These will allow you to craft the raid weapons and the duality weapons that you can find over in the dungeon. Now, upon this week's weekly reset, we got to test out those changes, and the drops are very favourable. Now, as Deep Stone Crypt is the featured raid, this means we can farm it repeatedly throughout the week, and with the increased drop rates of all the red border weapons, we can finally earn the weapon patterns we need to craft these incredible raid weapons. Now, it's important to note though that each encounter does offer different loot, with each offering slightly different weapons. So with that in mind, you'll want to make sure that you're farming the right encounters if you're chasing particular weapon patterns. Now, the first encounter is called Crypt Security, and the only weapon that is available in this encounter is the Trusty Scout Rifle. Now, the Trusty is absolutely epic, has some awesome new perks on it, things like Incandescent, and will be an absolute must going into Lightfall at the end of February. Now, Crypt Security is one of the quickest encounters in the raid, and a well-drilled and coordinated team can run this in under 2 minutes. Now, as a quick refresher, first of all, you'll need to pick up the Operator buff from the Light Room, and the member of your team who picks that up will need to head down to the basement. In the basement section, there are 10 panels, and the scanners in the fire team will need to identify which 4 need to be shot, 2 on the dark side and 2 on the light side. And once they're downstairs though, another member of the fire team will pick up the scanner buff also from the light side of the room and first identify those 2 panels. Once they've successfully identified those 2, they'll be able to put it into the central terminal for a member on the dark side of the team to do the exact same. They'll pick up the scanner buff and look through the gaps in the floor to identify which 2 panels need to be shot by the operator. And once these 4 panels have been shot, we'll need to use this central terminal to trade buffs. Now, we'll need to trade buffs to allow the Guardian in the basement to finally get the scanner buff. The scanner will now be able to see 6 bulbs. There's 3 on the light side and 3 on the dark side. These correspond to the generators, 3 on the light side and 3 on the dark side in the upper section of this room. They'll need to make the relevant callouts such as light left or dark right. And when these callouts are made, the fire team up above will need to take out that generator. Now, some of the best weapons to use to take out these generators really quickly are things like Xenophage, and you definitely want to avoid using weapons like 1000 Voices, as this can damage more than one generator at any one time, and if you damage a generator that isn't being highlighted, then this will cause the team to wipe. It's very easy to one-phase this if you're using the right weapons, and if you intend to farm this encounter just for the Trustee, then you want to make sure that you hold the Crypt Security checkpoint on an alternative character so you can avoid running the opening section of this raid each and every time. Now, this brings us nicely onto Atrax, which is arguably even faster than the Crypt Security encounter. The easiest and fastest way to pull this one off is by the fire team using the Parasite Exotic Grenade Launcher. It's very easy to proc this exotic bonus, and if all members of your fire team have this equipped, you can easily one-phase this boss. If you don't have that though, then Titans with Caress of the Falling Star are very powerful too. 3 Titans alone will be enough to take it to final stand, which should be enough for you and your fire team to pull this off. Now, to get started, you'll want to have 4 members of your fire team take the lifts, with 2 remaining in the lower section. These 2 Guardians just need to clear the 3 Servitors and pick up the Operator buff. Whilst they're doing this though, the 4 upstairs will be clearing ads, picking up the Scanner buff, and taking out 2 of the Servitors, leaving the Servitor on the right hand side of the room up until the final 2 Guardians have joined everyone in the upper section of this encounter. Once all members of the fire team are together, you can take out that final servitor, which will trigger the damage phase. And when the damage phase is active, the scanner will be able to identify which Atrax we need to damage. And by clearly calling this out, all members of the fire team can make their way there. And with the scanner providing a countdown, you can all fire your parasites together, instantly taking Atrax to the final stand. Now, if the scanner is a Titan with the crest of the burning star, they can defeat Atrax on their own during the final stand. But if they're not, they'll once again need to make that call out for all their fire team to make their way to that particular Atrax, and once again providing a countdown for the fire team to take them out once and for all. It's a super fast and easy encounter with the right loadout, and if you and your team can pull this off, then the Succession Sniper Rifle and the Heritage Shotgun are available to you. By doing this encounter in this way, you'll also complete the raid challenge, which will also grant you an additional Deep Stone Crypt chest. The two weapons from this encounter are some of the most sought after in this raid, so once again, if you're looking to farm out patterns for them, make sure to hold the Atrax checkpoint on another character so you can farm this over and over again. Now next up we have the Taniks encounter, which is the next major encounter that has some of the most sought after loot in this raid. This final encounter offers the Bequest Sword, the Commemoration Machine Gun, and also the Eyes of Tomorrow exotic rocket launcher. As we said earlier in the video, this is a featured raid this week, so all those weapons are indeed farmable. Now in this encounter, the two buffs you need to be most aware of are the Operator and the Suppressor, as we're going to be doing the 4 nuke strat, which means we'll be able to instantly take Taniks to damage. Now this room has 3 distinct sections, each with 2 bins that need nukes to be placed. And during the opening section of this encounter, you'll need to defeat the combatants that provide the Operator and the Suppressor bonus. Now the Operator's job is to destroy the detainment which Taniks grants when Guardians are carrying the relevant nukes. As for the Guardian with the Suppressor, their job is to suppress Taniks, which will then allow those Guardians to place those nukes in the relevant bins. Now it's important to remember you will not be required to put nukes in the bins on the side that Taniks is located, which makes it much easier to identify the other 4 bins where the nukes need to be taken. Now initially you will need to damage Taniks to allow him to drop these nukes, and it's important to ensure that all 4 have landed first, and that when you're picking up these nukes it says pick up and not take. If it says take on the screen, this means you're stealing it from a fellow member of your fire team. But once all 4 nukes have been placed, this will trigger the damage phase, and all Guardians will be able to locate together behind this rock whilst we wait for Taniks to become vulnerable. Once inside Taniks' ring, you'll need to place a Well of Radiance, and with a member of your fire team applying Weakened and Clear, all other members of your fire team can just unload with rocket launchers. Gjallarhorn is immensely powerful here. You'll just need to keep reapplying the bonus to ensure the rest of your fire team benefit from that debuff. Now if you are using rockets with this debuff, there's no need to ADS, which makes it much easier to see where your fire team is and ensures you don't shoot them in the back. But once you have done enough damage, this will trigger the final stand, which once again you can easily complete with a Crest of the Falling Star Titan or by using up any remaining rockets from Gjallarhorn. It's not quite as quick as Atrax, but it does at least offer 2 legendary weapons which are craftable, and also the very desirable exotic rocket launcher. As before, if you're intending to farm Taniks, then make sure to hold this checkpoint on a character, and even if you don't intend on farming Deepstone Crypt this week, at least get a single run in, as you are guaranteed a red border weapon from the chest upon defeating Taniks anyway. It's well worth doing if you're trying to prep up for Lightfall to ensure you have some of the best weapons in the game. Now finally, to round this out, we're going to take a look at one of the best farms in Crucible this week. This week sees bonus Crucible ranks all week long, with Team Scorched in rotation as a Crucible rotator. Matches of Team Scorched are some of the quickest in the Crucible, which gives you a perfect opportunity to farm out the Riptide Legendary Fusion Rifle. This is a stasis fusion rifle that come Lightfall will be able to stun overloads and unstoppable champions. It's an absolute must-have, with autoloading holster and chill clip being the most desirable perks. Now you can also add a mod on your Ghost to help increase your legendary drops when completing Crucible matches, and because of the bonus points you'll be earning from Crucible, it will also allow you to earn the ornament for the Veles-X Pulse Rifle. You'll need this to complete a seasonal challenge alongside the seasonal challenge from week 3 to defeat Guardians in Team Scorched. So if Deepstone Crypt isn't really your thing, but you do really want a good Riptide, or you're just looking for the ornament, this is probably one of the best weeks remaining this season to knock out those seasonal challenges and get your hands on one of the best weapons in the game. So there we have it, guys, a good look on the best farms this week. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to check out one of the 2 videos you see here in these cards for more Destiny 2 content. And if you want to keep up to date with everything to do with Destiny 2, then be sure to hit subscribe as well. I'm going to jump into the game as always, guys, and I will catch you all again very soon.